Hello, dear student. Myself, Sujata Bidwe, and welcome back in the next lecture series of Sources of Indian Medico-Ethnobotany. In last lecture, we have studied definition and concept of ethnobotany. Then we have studied different sources of Indian medico-ethnobotany, that are literature, folk medicines, and traditional Indian system of medicines. In this lecture, we are going to see the medico-ethnobotanical significance of two plants, Gloriosa superba and Tribulus terrestris. Today's learning objective of this session are to study medico-ethnobotanical significance of the plants. Friends, when we are going to forest, this type of flowers are very common to us. In forest, we were always watching such a type of flowers if we went there in rainy season. This plant is Gloriosa superba. This Gloriosa superba is very common in forest part, as well as nowadays this plant were also used as a ornamental plant. This Gloriosa superba in Sanskrit referred as Agnishika. If you see the flower of the plant, you can understand why it is referred as Agnishika. And the appearance of Agni means, yeah, we know this Agni. Agni is a light, bright light, and the flowers were seen or visualized as like a brightened light, and therefore these are named as Agnishika. This Agnishika or Gloriosa superba were also commonly known as glory lily. These glory lily are the richest source of alkaloid colchicine. This colchicine is reported with at the presence in the rhizomatous tuber of the plant, and these colchicine are very important medicine in the diseases like cancer, ulcer, gout, and inflammation. Also, these colchicine or the tubers of the Gloriosa superba were effectively used in treatment of infertility and arthritis also. This Gloriosa superba is very well known medicinal drug. The various formulations were developed by using these tubers of Gloriosa superba. First of all, we'll see what is the habitat, source of the drug of this plant. Then we'll see the morphology of plant, and finally we'll see the isolation of drug from the plant. Now, when we talk about the Gloriosa superba derived drug, the main source of the drug is dried tuber. The rhizomatous tuber of the plant were collected from the field. They are dried and used to produce the alkaloid, that is colchicine. When we talk about the geographical sources of the Gloriosa superba, it is an indigenous plant to tropical Asia and Africa. In Tamil Nadu, there are presence of a very large community of this Gloriosa superba, and nowadays they are cultivating this Gloriosa superba commercially also. Now, when we talk about the habitat and ecology of the Gloriosa, as we talked earlier, it is present or it is grown in tropical jungles, grassland, forest, and nowadays it is also developed as ornamental plant. This plant can be very well developed in nutrient poor soil also, but these plants are the height indicator. Generally, they are growing at 2500-meter elevation, generally in normal conditions, but nowadays the scientists or the botanists were sowing this plant, or they are cultivating this plant for the commercial production of the alkaloid. Now we'll see morphological or macroscopic characters of the plant. This plant is mainly belongs to subdivision monocot. Remember that this plant is monocot plant and it belongs to family Liliaceae. This plant is branched herbaceous climber, and this branched herbaceous climber is arising from the tuberous rhizomatous roots. From single tuber, at least 1 to 4 stems are arising and each stem is flowering and fruiting. Now, leaves of the plant are simple, alternate. Sometimes these are present in opposite direction also. The leaves are sessile, smooth and shiny. The leaflet or the lamina of the leaf are lanceolate, oval in shape, and they are producing very long tendrils, and generally they are creeping or they are growing by taking help of any large in the forest. When we talk about the flowers of the Gloriosa superba, in picture we can easily visualize there is presence of 6 tepals, and please note that here there is absence of separate sepal and petal. Here there is presence of only tepal. The 6 tepals are present which are bright red and yellow in color, and the length of the tepal is up to 4 to 10 centimeter long, and they are lanceolate in the shape. There is presence of 6 stamens, and they are as long as the tepal. If we see the flowers of the Gloriosa superba, it mainly present in the solitary axillary type of inflorescence. Basically, it is a cymose type of inflorescence. At each branch, there is presence of single flower in axial position. The flower is showing absence of sepals and petals separately, but they are showing a combined form of sepal and petal, that is tepal. There is presence of 6 tepal which are bright red and yellow in color. There is presence of 6 stamens which are as long as the tepal. Mainly, tepals are 4 to 10 centimeter long and they are lanceolate in the shape. Ovary, that is gynoecium. In the gynoecium, a part of gynoecium which is ovary is superior in position, and there is presence of trifid stigma. When we talk about the fruit of the Gloriosa, there is presence of capsule type of fruit which is 10 centimeter long, and there is presence of red seeds within the fruit. As shown in the picture, you can see there a long, at least 10 centimeter long capsule type of fruit which is having presence of bright red seeds. When we talk about the toxicity of plant, the tuber are highly toxic. If somebody eat that tuber, it leads to fatality. It leads to death of that living organism, and therefore these are considered as highly toxic. Now, along with tuber, the leaves and other parts were also toxicity reported. Now, when we talk about the toxicity or main component of this tuber, there is presence of colchicine, and it is importantly considered as toxic element of that tuber. When we talk about the medicinal importance of this plant, these plants are surprisingly used in the snake bites and scorpion stings. In folk medicines, in ethnobotanical uses, they have described the use of plant against the snake bites and scorpion sting. As it is poisonous in nature, it can be easily used as a remedy against these pathological conditions. These are effectively used in parasitic skin diseases, in urological pains. It is also useful in chronic ulcers. It is also useful in the treatment of piles, as well as all the sexually transforming diseases like gonorrhea, GORD, or any type of reports of the infertility can be cured with the help of Gloriosa superba. It is also useful in wounds and in arthritis. It is also helpful in all type of kidney problems. It can be effectively used against all the problems of itching, leprosy, or it can be effectively used against the cancer. Nowadays, there is development of commercial drug by using tuber of Gloriosa superba, which leads to or which is used to cure the cancer. Along with that, it can be utilized in order to remove the parasitic organism like lice, and it can be useful in the all type of skin diseases. Now, when we talk about the active principle or main component which is used as a drug is colchicine. Along with that, Gloricine, colchicine, and gloricine are the alkaloids, while the pungent and bitter formula of the tuber is also acting as active principle in order to cure the disorders, diseases, or the any pathological conditions. Now we'll see how there is isolation of alkaloids. In order to isolate the colchicine, the tubers, rhizomatous tubers were collected, they were shed dried and powdered. These finely powdered tubers were extracted in water in all the aqueous condition, and this aqueous extraction results in 80% production of colchicine. Earlier days, the extraction was carried out with the help of chloroform or alcohol, but nowadays the aqueous extraction method is more efficient at recovering more amount of colchicine from the powdered tuber. So, this is all about the Gloriosa superba. It is a well known common plant of the indigenous plant of the India, and it has its medicinal importance which was mentioned in the ethnobotanical literature, and it is effectively used from ancient era as well as nowadays by a recent methods. Commercial drugs were also designed by using these tubers of Gloriosa superba. In today's lecture, the second plant to which we are dealing is Tribulus terrestris. Commonly in Marathi, it is known as Gokharu. Again, it is a very common plant of the forest. Again, this is a annual plant, and in forest we can see a yellow colored flowered, a small herb with the yellow colored flowered and simple compound green leaves are nothing but the Tribulus terrestris or the Gokharu. This plant, mainly the ripened fruits of the plant, were used in various Ayurvedic preparations as well as it is effectively used as a tonic and diuretic. The Tribulus terrestris fruit, that is nothing but the Gokharu, it is very common ingredient of the all type of chawanprash which we are prepared. Generally, chawanprash we are using as a immunity booster. Along with that, the second immunity booster are the different type of kadhas which are mentioned in the Ayurveda, and one of the important is Dashmularishti. Okay, this Dashmularishti is nothing but a kadha or a liquid preparation of the polyherbal formula, and Gokharu is the common ingredient of this Dashmularishti also. So, it is very important and Ayurvedically important, medicinally important plant. When we talk about the biological source of this Gokharu, it is a dried ripened fruit. And when we talk about the geographical distribution, these are widely distributed in warmer region, specifically in Eurasia, Africa. They are commonly found in the forest area. These are also commonly found in India, Sri Lanka, West Tibet. These plants are basically annual or biannual type of plants growing in forest area. These plants are generally found in a dry deciduous forest, westland, and roadside in a black cotton soil areas also. These are also reported from the sandy area, hillside, residential areas also. They can effectively or easily grow under poor soil also. Now we'll see morphological or macroscopic characters of the plant. The plant is small prostate herb and it is characteristically having presence of silky hairs. This shrub is having presence of compound leaves which are pinnate with 5 to 8 pairs. In picture, we can easily visualize the compound leaves of the plant which are pinnately compound and having presence of 5 to 8 pairs of the leaflet. The leaflet are generally elliptical and lanceolate in shape, and from each node, two leaves are arising. The flowers of the plant are brightly yellow in color and having presence of 5 petals and 5 sepals. The flower is reporting the presence of 10 stamen and star-shaped gynoecium. The fruit which is reported from the plant is globose type of fruit. The fruit is used as a main source of drug. We'll see the morphological character of this fruit. The color of the fruit are greenish to grey, and when they are ripened, they were used in the preparation of medicine. The fruits are odorless and their size is ranging from 1 to 1.5 centimeter. The shape of the fruit is globose with 5 to 8 woody cocae. Two pairs of hard and sharp divergent spine are present on the fruit. This is about the morphology of fruit, and these fruits were used within the medicinal preparation. These fruit are having active principle which are mainly alkaloids. These alkaloids are hermine and harmer which are acting as active principle of the drug. This active principle of drug also consists with saponins, flavonoid, camphorol, tribuloside, essential oil, and resins. These all chemical these all phytochemicals were consisting forming active principle of the Tribulus. This active principle of the plant having many medicinal uses. Medicinally, this plant can be used as a diuretic, tonic. It is also used as a aphoristic. It is also used in treatment of gout and in all type of urinary disinfectants. These are effectively used. The powder of the fruit, that is the powder of Gokharu, is main component of all type of kadhas like Dashmurarist, and it is main ingredient of the Chavanprash. This is all about the use of the Tribulus terrestris or the Gokharu in the as the rule or as per the Ethno-Medico-Botany. Now we'll move towards the summary of lecture. In today's lecture, we have seen medico-ethnobotanical significance of the two plant Gloriosa superba and Tribulus terrestris. The Gloriosa superba is mainly source of alkaloid colchicine and it is reported or it is present in the tuber of the plant. Secondly, Tribulus terrestris, it is also a good source of alkaloids as well as saponin, essential oil and resins which are acting as a active principle in the Tribulus terrestris. And these active principles of Tribulus terrestris mainly extracted from the fruit of the plant. Okay, this is all about the today's lecture, and finally, thank you very much. If you have any query, if you have any question, you can find me on my mail sucheta.bidway@gmail.com, or you can directly connect with me to our Google Classroom. Thank you.